Now, I haven't really been doing aquariums for very long. It's about 5 months now. This was my first build. A lot of grasses, a lot of vegetation. Some failed, some succeeded. The substrate was just a store-bought gravel, you know, for decor. More than anything else, really wasn't that functional, but it worked. I do all dirt with sand caps, and I put this black gravel on top. Everything in here is very well rooted, doing exceptionally well. I'm a big believer in dirted tanks, aquariums, with a sand cap on them. They seem to work very well for me. So again, this was my first build, and there's a mix of fish in there from different places and what have you, but the plants are all doing exceptionally well. A lot of green, very little red. I don't think the lights are really strong enough, so I'm learning as I go. And I think it's an important learning. There's a curve, no question. I'm going to try to do my best to alleviate anyone who is watching our program or watching our YouTube channel or any of our videos, learn as much as they can through my experience. I have watched thousands of hours. I mean, I say thousands, but I watched so many videos. I really like MD tanks, you know, MD fish tanks. I really like Father Fish. I think he's great, as well as Fishery with Alexander Williamson. I think he's great as well. Videos are a little long, usually over an hour. He likes to go on, but I gotta tell you, the guy's brilliant. He knows his stuff, and I enjoy it. So again, I've accumulated a lot of information from these people, and I respect them for their enthusiasm and their love for the hobby. It's great. So I want to walk over to another tank that I have. It was my second build. It's over in our right off the kitchen. Again, you know, a lot of plants, a lot of green. I have a lily, or actually a lotus, I think it might be, or lily, water lily out front here. Not the best position place, but again, I learn as I go, and I want you all to learn as well. I use, again, dirt and sand caps. Got some stone and some wood in here. I've got plants growing off the top, doing quite well. I just bought these little plastic boxes. I'll do a separate video on those another time. I have 2 of them in here, and plants are doing great, so I can't complain about that. And then I have a couple other tanks that I have built, 6-gallon cubes. I really enjoy. I've got from Petco when they're on sale. Usually they're like 55, 60 bucks, and then I'm part of their Vital Care, so I get when the tanks are on sale, I get 50% off. As well as I get 20% on my Vital Care, so I pay like 20 some bucks for these 6 cubes, 6-gallon cubes. I really like them a lot. I think they do function very well. Again, I got some glare there from my back doors. And again, this is just a black water. A lot of tannins in it. It's a beta sorority tank, more or less. I put a couple guppies in there to break things up a bit. This one has a few fish other than this male betta, so I like that. I got plants growing out the top of this one as well, if you can see. The plants are doing exceptionally well, all of them. I have roots in the water. I really like that look, and it's really nice. It takes a lot of the extra nutrients out. This was actually my very first tank. It was a 10-gallon, and I didn't really know what the heck I was doing at all at the time, and I still am learning, but I want to share what I have learned. I've, again, watched so much video, have gotten my hands dirty, again, all planted, all soil based, you know, potting soil with sand caps. This one is a little dark too because it's the wood is leaking tannins. And I just made it into a guppy tank, a lot of little babies swimming around. Now it's just females here, and I'll show you the male tank in a minute. This is a new build. It's getting a little bit of a little bit of a beneficial bacteria bloom since it's new. And that's okay. I've been through that with other tanks as well. Nothing to be concerned about. But again, all planted as well as dirted with a sand cap. And here I'm using a lot of what they call them, epiphytes or epiphytes. I think if I'm screwing that up, you know, plants that just basically take their nutrients out of the water column, put their roots out. And then again, you can see some of the roots that are coming in from the plants that I have up above. And again, taking out a lot of extra nutrients. This is a nice little design, I use very small filters as well as inexpensive lights, and they seem to do the trick, so I'm happy about that. Try to stay on a low budget. This is another tank that I had built out, and big giant stone in it. Didn't really realize just how big that stone was. But again, there are a lot of tetras in here, and the wood in there is just leaking, you know, these tannins. So I call it dark water, but I do like to lighten it up from time to time. Got some plants on top. This has got the original filter from my 10-gallon that I just showed, and you know, it's doing quite well. I modify all the internals on my filters as well. I put in some floss as well as some sponges that I know I keep in tanks purposely just to pick up beneficial bacteria to make it easier to cycle new tanks. I have a little quarantine tank here that I was doing you know, for plants and what have you, and I got a couple of plants in there. All the male guppies are in here now, keep them from breeding. I have some betas in jars that I have put together. And I really enjoy the jars. I think they're really great. I got 4 of them, and here's 2 of them right here with a couple males in it. They kind of keep each other busy by flaring up and doing all of that. And then I have over here, I had an old paper, you know, shredder, and this is where all the garbage would go, and I filled it with water and put a light on it, just so I have a place to kind of propagate some plants or store plants in between builds. So I really like how that's coming along. And again, this is real basic. I'm a beginner, but I have really acquired a lot of knowledge in a very short period of time. I devoted a lot of time to learning, and I really appreciate, again, Fishery with Alexander Williamson, as well as MD Fish Tanks and Father Fish. They've been a real inspiration in helping me get to where I am in this hobby, and I'm enjoying the heck out of it. All started when I had built a pond years ago when I first bought this home, and it was filled in. It had dirt in it, had plants growing out of it. I dug it all back out and put it back to a functional pond. Got some goldfish in it. I put some guppies out there. I live in West Palm Beach, Florida, in that area, so it's really ideal for tropical fish. And again, I always like, I don't want to have to go outside all the time and look at my plants. I mean, look at my pond out there and look at the fish and the things that are growing. And why don't I bring some of it inside? And that's how I got into the hobby. And again, I think it's a fantastic hobby to be in, and I so look forward to putting out videos and helping everyone the best I can to learn about it. Again, dirted tanks, dirted aquariums with sand caps. And again, I'm learning. I enjoy it. I hope you do too. Thank you.